Hey guys, what's up? Pizza Living Nerd here. So I've been on Salient for about 14 days now, 2 weeks, and I have loved it. It has been one of the best Arch experiences I've ever had. Now, it does use XFCE out of the box, however, I did switch it up a bit. So I switched to Budgie instead of XFCE, however, I have a similar setup on Budgie as XFCE. I'm using the same default wallpaper, there's still a dock on the bottom, and there's still a menu up here. So pretty similar setup. I just prefer Budgie the XFCE. Anyways, I'm gonna do my review now, and let's start the review. Alright, so Salient has probably been the best Arch Linux distro I've ever used. It's got a nice interface. It is definitely one of the best implementations of XFCE. It's got everything you need out of the box, except for one thing, it didn't come with an Office suite. I had to install only Office, which is my favorite one. So it doesn't come with an Office suite, but everything else it comes with out of the box. So this is good for your music production guys, your video production guys, graphic designers, and specifically gamers. This is a very gamer-targeted distro. It does come with Steam out of the box, and there is an NVIDIA ISO just in case you have NVIDIA hardware, which is a nice feature. Overall, it's pretty easy to set up, and I have enjoyed my time with Salient. Now, why am I distro hopping? Well, after an update, it seemed to break a lot of stuff. Now, it still boots for me, however, it still has been breaking. Now, someone it did break for is someone I know on Discord, Macleod, and he has been having issues with, he was using Salient longer than I did, and then he had boot loop issues. Now, it still boots for me, like I said, however, when I do boot, I get some errors similar to the ones Macleod has, so, yeah, I will be editing those in so I can show you. So, yeah. Other than that, though, this has been a great distro. So, now, let's look at my rubric. Alright, so it turns out the reason that we're having issues is because the new Linux kernel does not support any current NVIDIA drivers. So, and also it's breaking a lot of packages because kernel modules are no longer supported. So, yeah, there's that. That might explain some of the issues I was having with GNOME Box. But whatever, let's just get on to the rubric. Now, it does come with two DEs, KDE and XFCE. It has a great XFCE setup out of the box. I haven't tried the KDE version, but this build has had this version has had a great XFCE build, I'm just going to say. I'd probably give it a 9 points out of that, because nah, I'm only going to give it 1 just for the setup. Now, it is not resource heavy, I don't think. Let me check. System monitor. Now, it's probably going to use 500 megabytes less. It is heavy now, but that's because I have myself recording and I have Firefox open and I'm using Budgie instead of XFCE. But on XFCE, it was using under 800 megabytes, so we will not be docking points for that. It does have desktop icons. Obviously does come with a desktop, and we'll be giving it +4 for layout choices. Now for the installer, I believe, but don't quote me on this, I believe that it will, it does use the Calmaris installer, I think. So it does do auto configure partitions. I am not sure if it auto dual boots, so I'm just not going to give it points. It is user configurable and it is easy to use. I accidentally messed that up. There we go. Of course, Google Drive. Anyways, now it does not have a minimal install option. It does not have a choice of software in the installer. It does use Arch and the AUR, so +5 for a good repository. It does not rely on snaps and flatpaks unless the package on the AUR is broken, but I'm not going to count that. It doesn't have outdated packages. There's no proprietary apps installed by default unless you get the NVIDIA ISO. And there's no applications for bad terms of service or user license agreement. Now, stability, it did not work as I expected because of the issues I had with updating. It is easy to maintain though. Now, distribution breaks after updating. I am having issues. However, these are probably going to spread to other distros because of the kernel version doing the damage. As well as my distro still works, I'm just having small issues with some packages. Now, it is not discontinued, so it does not have any major or minor features that are big. It does work properly with unknown characters, and I believe it works properly with Asian fonts. Let me check that. It does. So it is actually, I think this is the only distro that works well with unknown characters like emojis in Asian fonts. Now, it does not have a bad UI. It doesn't have documentation for itself. It does use Arch, so it's got the AUR for the Arch user, the Arch wiki for documentation. So I guess I could give it a +5 for that, but at the same time, it's not distro specific documentation. Distro is easy to use, and it is sort of reliant on terminals because it is recommended to update through a terminal as PAMAC can break. However, for the most part, it is not reliant on terminals. So now I'm going to get out my calculator, and I'm going to calculate what the score is. So 9 for this, plus 3, that's 12. So 18 for these two, plus 5, plus 3, plus 20. So that it got a score of 46. So pretty good score. I believe it, I think Kubuntu got a better score. But normal, this does beat normal Ubuntu. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.